Hello, so today we will be conducting a motherboard replacement on a Dell Inspiron 12320. So this has a second generation low power i5 2400S. So let's see, so that's the screen. It's 21 inch, I guess. It's got JBL audio. So in order to conduct the repair, we're just gonna put it so it's facing down. We're gonna basically take a lot of the stuff out. So now what we're gonna do is just gonna lift this up. Well, it's not gonna stay up. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna get a Phillips head screwdriver. See, the good thing about Dell is that they make it easier for people to actually fix their computers themselves. So there are 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those can be removed, like I said, with the Phillips head screwdriver. So now we have removed the 4 screws. So now we're just gonna lift. So we're just gonna lift, and you should hear it start unclipping. So we're just gonna go around the corners, just gonna put our hands underneath and just pry it up. Okay, so before I continue, there are 2 more screws I forgot. So right here, right next to the leg, and right there on the other side. So we are just gonna take those out, and we're gonna keep going. So this one down here. Okay, so now after you have taken all those out, you can actually just start prying it up now. So you can just grab the corners and just start prying it up, and as you can see, it will come out. So we're just gonna put this aside, put it on the floor here. So now the motherboard is on this area right here. So as you can see, the heatsink pipe going in there and right there, CPU. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of work to actually get to the motherboard. So let's get started. Let's carry on, I guess. So now we are gonna need to take off this part right here, which is being held down by 1 screw right there, 1 other screw right there, and another screw right there. Nope, that's another one right there. So we're gonna take those off, but the ones that are like this one and this one right here, you might have issues trying to get to them because there is a plastic piece right on top of them. So we're just gonna take this part off. Okay, great. So let's continue. Right. So now that we have done that, you can try prying it up, but we will fail because it's being held down by that part. So I'm just gonna continue. Alright, so now we are going to take off this part right here, and it's being held down by 4 screws. So 1 right there, right here, another one right there, right here, and right there. So we're gonna unscrew those and carry on. Now these screws are a different size. They're a bit thicker than the other ones. The other silver screws we previously took out. So we're just gonna try to keep them separate so we don't get confused. So, okay. So I just removed those screws, and this part, I just started jiggling it out. Jiggling it, and it came out. So as you can see, it's got 2 holes right there. So on the desktop right here, it's actually got 2 hooks that actually just go into here and hold it like this, so the screws actually help it just stay in place. So it goes in like that, pushed in a little bit forward, then to get it out you just pull it back a little bit, you can just tilt it, and that's it. So now after we have removed that, we can just remove this part right here that we had previously taken out the 4 screws. So after you do that, you can just put your hand underneath this part right here, and you can just pry up and it should come out. This is the part where all the I/O is. So the I/O, so there it is. So now I'm gonna continue. Now the motherboard. So this motherboard, this silver plate is actually being held down by the screw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, get them. 5 and 6 right here. So we're just gonna take those screws off and continue. So after you remove all the screws, so you can just start pulling it up from this side right here, and it should, okay, so it's being something is preventing it from coming out. So we're just gonna zoom in. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it off the tripod, and as you can see, there are little clips right here. I'm just gonna move it. Okay, so I don't know if this is much better, but there are clips here, here, and here that are preventing this from coming out. So what we're gonna do is we are going to see how we can do this. Okay, we will need to take those off. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, so what I did is just lifted this part up, then on this part I just tilted it back until it unclipped. So be careful when you're doing this so you don't break it. So now this part, to remove it, I just kept moving it back, and just try to pull it forward, well, to your left. That should come out. So here is the motherboard. Right here. So this is an orange motherboard. As you can see, the heatsink right here. CPU, RAM, Wi-Fi card, VGA, network, audio, four USB 2.0s and charger port, and the connectors right there. So what we're gonna do is just gonna we'll take out everything and replace the motherboard. Alright. So we're just gonna start unplugging. So now with these little cables, what I do is get them to just jiggle them from side to side until they come out. Yep, just apply a little bit more force. So now we're gonna continue. Okay, so that one's not coming out. Alright. Okay, video cable. So it's got two SATA connectors. Let's move the camera. This way. Right there. So we got a couple more connectors to go. Here, and two SATA. Right there. So we're just gonna zoom in a little bit more. So we can't really take these out. Okay, we're just gonna pull the cable out a little bit, then just gonna jiggle it out. So that's came out. So same thing with the other cable. Route it, and we're just gonna slowly but surely take it out. So now the display cable right here, right here. It's got a, just move the camera down, right there. So it's got a screw right here for the ground, to ground the display cable. So we're gonna take that as well. Gonna unscrew it, and it's the same size as the other one. So we're just gonna put them up together. So zoom out. Okay, so now the SATA connectors. These are a bit complicated to take out. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna pry them up a little bit. Well, slowly. There we go. Right, pry them up. So now we're gonna take off. Well, we got a couple more connectors. Right here. Right there. So now we're just gonna unplug this, then unplug the other one. That's it. So our plan is to take out, well, unbolt everything from the motherboard as possible. Then on the new motherboard, we're just gonna start putting it together apart outside. So let's see. Wi-Fi card. So the screw is a bit smaller, so we're gonna use a smaller Phillips head. Right, we got this. So the wireless card is being held down by two screws, really small ones. You can't really confuse them with the other ones. So we're gonna take those two. So like I said, good practice is to keep the screws organized. So these antenna wires, just gonna take them apart, take them back. So now the motherboard it is being held down by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, well 10 actually, because we're gonna count down 4 screws that hold the heat sink over the CPU. Okay, so we're gonna take the screws out. Oh, we missed the cable right here, so we're just gonna pry it up a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna take off the screws. Okay, so now the motherboard's starting to feel a bit loose. So now the heat sink screws. So we're just gonna take out one, loosen one of them up, the other one right there. So we're just unscrewing them in a cross pattern. So we're just removing this same amount of pressure from the CPU so we don't break it. So we're just gonna take it. Now I think we have to remove the heatsink as well, right here. So this heatsink is being held down by 3 screws. 4 actually, there's a hidden one. So we're gonna, oh never mind, we won't really need to take it out. Well, we will, but okay. So now as you can see right here, there's a screw that's like holding down the heatsink. So we're just gonna remove that one to remove the heatsink, so we don't have to remove the whole fan assembly. Alright, so remove that one, and like we have been encountering before, it's the same size. Alright, put it over there. Okay, so now to take out the old motherboard, there's another cable right here. What else is holding this down? I think it's these screws right here. So these are like Torx bit screws. So let's see if I actually have a bit big enough to fit on those. And I do. So this thing never focused.